All right, gyms, wellness centers, recovery lounges, listen up. If your clients want a cold plunge, but you don't want to deal with those janky inflatable tubs or something that has to be maintained every single week or something you're gonna have to put special attention on every single day, this might be your best bet. This thing is a straight up tank. Like literally. And today we're gonna put it to the test and see if the Polar Monkey's commercial cyber plunge is the perfect cold plunge for you or not. Have you ever heard of the Colosseum? You know that big thing that's been standing for nearly 2,000 years? Why? Well, because the Romans knew that real durability was more than just looking strong. It was about being built right from the ground up. And by the looks of this tub, it's made out of 100% marine grade stainless steel. They were on the same track. This is the same kind of stainless steel that they use in super yachts so they don't corrode in that salty ocean water. So you could put this tub in a gym, outside, in a spa, or on top of Mount Everest, and it's still gonna hold up. This tub does weigh about 180 pounds, so you will need a few friends to help get it where you need it, but once it's there, it's there. Let's quickly pivot and talk about the specifications because I know that's what some of you are itching to hear. First, let's talk about the power requirements. The commercial cyber plunge comes with a 1 horsepower commercial chiller that cools the water down to a brisk 37 degrees. It operates on a standard 120 volt outlet and no special wiring is required. You can literally just plug it right into the wall. Online, it does say that it requires 20 amps of a dedicated breaker, and I'm pretty sure that's what most cold plunge companies are starting to require. And because I'm not a sales rep for any of these companies, I'm just gonna tell you my personal experience. I have this plugged in to a standard 15 amp outlet with 3 other cold plunges on the same breaker. And so far it hasn't tripped. But obviously you gotta make your own decisions there. Now for the dimensions. So we'll start with length. Length, we have 67 inches. That's the outside. Width, we have 29.5 inches, and from the floor to the top, we're at 24 inches. That's the outside. Now let's look at the inside. We have 64.5 in length. In width, we have 27 inches, and then depth from the bottom to the top, we have 20 inches. This is a massive tub. On the instructions, it did have 3 different layouts for all of the components. So depending on your layout where you're gonna be putting this thing, you got 3 different options and probably a few more. But for mine, I'm gonna tell you how much room I have off the back side here. Literally all the way to the end there. You're gonna need about 18 inches from the back of the tub, literally the back of the tub. Once again, you can configure this thing however you want. My chiller over here sticking out an additional about 22 inches from the tub. And that's kind of where I have everything here. It holds about 140 gallons of water, so the tub is an absolute beast. And because it's so big, it allows for full submersion, super easy. Keep in mind the tub itself weighs over 180 pounds, so like I mentioned before, you will need some friends to help put it where you want it. If you're worried about the installation, don't be. The Cyber Plunge is designed with easy setup and no plumbing is required. It comes with all the necessary connections and a drain valve to make water management super easy. Plus, it includes an insulated cover, and that keeps the debris out, but also helps to maintain that water temperature when not in use. And let's not forget about the commercial grade automatic water filtration, ensuring crystal clear water with minimal maintenance. And for those who like to fine tune their experience, this chiller offers precision temperature control down to 37 degrees, allowing you to set the perfect chill for yourself or your clients. In a nutshell, the Cyber Plunge is a plug-and-play solution, and it's as user-friendly as it is robust. And that makes it a stellar addition to any high-traffic environment, gym, wellness center, or just your home. And to talk about a few things on the backside here, this is a 1 horsepower Eco Plus chiller. This thing is an absolute beast. I've done quite a few reviews on these in the past, and it easily chills your water down to 37 degrees, which is what I have it set currently. Has a great pump with all of the connections that you need, and connecting this was super easy. Everything came extremely easy, and I'm gonna go over the entire build and setup here later in the video if you're interested. What I do really like about this is they kind of took their old original build and just made it better and made it more robust and made it for the commercial setting. So when Polar Monkey first came out, this is pretty much how the setup was, minus the tub was completely different. The tub is incredible. I really like the Cyber Barrel and the Cyber Plunge, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna have the Cyber Barrel video pop up. I review that. It's a really cool option as well, if you like this look. But a few things to keep in mind is the filter itself is a machine. This thing is huge, and you really aren't gonna have to change it that often. It's gonna keep your water very, very clean, very easily. Now let's talk about how fast it can actually freeze you. If you're still doing the run to the gas station, buy 10 bags of ice every morning, let me introduce you to modern technology. This thing's a 1 horsepower chiller, which means it doesn't just get cold, it gets cold fast and no ice needed. It'll drop your water to 37 degrees and keep it there, or anything between 37 and 65 or whatever the ambient temperature is. And why that really matters for a commercial setting is if you have an NFL linebacker and then a yoga instructor getting into the cold plunge in the same hour, this thing will keep your water at that precise temperature without breaking a sweat. And then that leads me to the filtration. filtration. Let me paint you a picture. Have you ever seen a mountain river constantly flowing, fresh, crisp, beautiful water? Now compare that to a stagnant swamp, sitting still and collecting who knows what. When it comes to cold plunges, you either have a river or a swamp. And the commercial Cyber Plunge has built-in commercial grade filtration that keeps your water clean and clear. And you only need to replace the filter every 3 to 4 months. So your clients or yourself aren't sitting in yesterday's sweat. They're getting that fresh, crisp mountain river experience. And that is a W for everyone. So I've talked a lot about what you do want in a cold plunge. Let's talk about what you don't want. What you don't want is a cold plunge that sounds like a factory assembly line. This thing is whisper quiet. It's actually been on the entire time I'm filming. So whether you're running a high-end wellness center or you want to just chill at your own cold plunge at your own house without sounding like you're sitting next to a leaf blower, this thing's it. All right, we've talked about a lot, but who should actually get this? I would say yes to gyms and fitness centers if you want a high-end recovery tool that won't break. I would say yes to wellness centers and spas if you want a quiet premium build that looks really, really cool. I would say yes to athlete recovery facilities if you want something that's reliable, always cold, and built for heavy use. I would even say yes to biohackers if you're that person who loves to suffer through 37-degree water. Go for it. And hey, if you're just a regular dude like me and you want it for your backyard, I respect that. And all right, I know some of you are just here for the challenge. You want to see me torture myself and fit in this thing. So I'm gonna do my full submersion test to make sure it's easy for me to get into the water, to get fully underwater, and to show you how I fit so you can determine how you'll fit. But before I do that, I do want to say, if you're watching this video and this product interests you and you're like, okay, I want some more details or I want to go ahead and purchase it, I'm gonna have a link down in the description below. It'll take you right to the website where you can check out all the details of this. And if you decide, okay, I really, really like it and I want to get one, there's also going to be a discount code for you to use. It's going to save you an exclusive discount and it's going to help you get this at the cheapest price possible. So check out that link and discount code after the video. Now let's get in it. All right, we've got this thing nice and cold. It's 37 degrees. First experience in it. Oh, shoot. Oh, yes. God, that feels really nice. It really does. So I can get my legs completely straight. For reference, I'm 6'1", and the reason I'm doing it like this with my arms out is because I like to show it is a comfortable plunge for people who just want to ice their lower half, and a lot of people do. I know a lot of people don't talk about it, but this is how a lot of people cold plunge, especially when they go to recovery centers and wellness facilities. A lot of athletes like to do this too after games. So if you're a taller person, you see where my feet come out, there's a lot of room, and I could honestly just sit with my back up here, so plenty of room. However, if you want to get fully under and have the water up to your collarbone, this is a very roomy cold plunge. And if you're someone who wants to fully dunk, one of the easiest full dunk experiences you're gonna have. So as far as the tub goes, there's 2 holes at the bottom. One hole where the water's gonna go in through the filter and everything, and one where the water's gonna come out. They're both at the bottom, which is nice. When it comes time to drain it, there's actually a drain, a push-up and pop-up drain right here in the center. Cool thing is I learned is there's a ball valve on the other side out here that you can attach a hose to run that water wherever you want to. When that is closed, you can't actually open this. It almost creates like a vacuum seal. So in order for this to open, the reason I'm saying this is because if somebody accidentally hits it, you don't want to drain your tub out. As long as this bag here is closed, this cannot open. And if this did open and that's closed, water won't come out. But the second you open that, this pops open, water drains out really, really fast. When I did cool this down, I'm in Florida, it's like 80 degrees outside right now. And when I did cool this down, it got down to 37 degrees in a couple hours. So this chiller, I would say this is very overbuilt. So if you are looking for a residential cold plunge, this might be a little more than you need unless you're like me and you have a ton of people over and you're in a really hot environment and you want something that's overbuilt, this could be a great option. But if you're a wellness center and you're someone who wants a cold plunge that is overbuilt and you're not gonna have to maintain it a ton, this could be a really, really cool option for you. Now let me talk about who this isn't for. This isn't for somebody who is just getting into cold plunging and maybe they're in an apartment or they're somewhere where they aren't gonna be there for a long time. This isn't for you because it's super heavy and it's super robust. It's a little overbuilt for that. I'd also say if you're gonna have this inside in your living room or something, this isn't for you. The components do sweat. There is condensation off of this, even though this tub is really insulated. And it's kind of hard to tell right now because I'm filming this early in the morning before the sun comes up. That way the lighting's not all jacked up. But there is some condensation. I did notice some sweating on the outside of the tub. There is some sweating on the components back here. It might be a little less inside, but I wouldn't recommend keeping this somewhere where you don't want the floors to get wet. Obviously it's a cold plunge too. When you get out, water's gonna come with you. So a lot of people don't really think about that. But if you're someone who's an athlete and you want something that's large, this is one of the larger tubs that I've ever been in. There's a lot of options out there and a lot of them are good size, a lot of them are different size, but this is a large tub. for a large human being to get in and get really, really comfortable and spread out. So hopefully I've answered a lot of questions for you. And if there's a question you have that I didn't really go over in this video, please pop it down in the comments below and I'll be sure to respond. Or reach out to me on Instagram if you want to have a private communication with me. We can totally do that. I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you on the next video, my friends. Have a great day and God bless. I was in there for a while. That's cold. My skin is, that's probably hard to see, but I look down, I'm super duper red. Oh yeah, by the way, click this video. This is the video on the cyber barrel and you're gonna wanna check it out. So just check this out.